Hello everybody, welcome back to Planet X News. It is July 21st, 2017. Listen folks, it's approximately 4 a.m. Eastern time and we have another wave of solar energy moving in. There was another CME explosion coming from the sunspot that we were watching for quite a while, AR 2665. Now this is not direct Earth facing, but as you can see, we already have these waves of solar energy moving in, and we've had quite a few outbreaks of earthquakes, and these are all within the last hour. 40 minutes ago, magnitude 5 over in Indonesia, a depth of 40 kilometers. I'm just going to go through these real quick. Magnitude 4.7 over in Iran, and then a very large outbreak of large earthquakes right over here in Turkey, right off the coast. 57 minutes ago, magnitude 4.4 in Mexico. Down in the Fiji Islands, magnitude 4.6, 47 minutes ago. And as you can see over here in California, magnitude 2.42. Well, look, I'm just going to have to zoom in here because there is such an outbreak of earthquake activity in this whole entire surrounding region. Now, if you're wondering what is the cause, what is happening, we're going to go ahead and get into this. There was another CME, coronal mass ejection, that came directly from this sunspot AR 2665. Now, it's moving towards the back side of the sun, but this doesn't mean that this energy is not going to affect the Earth. I'm going to go ahead and play this so you can see this explosion. It was pretty big. Here it comes, and this will go ahead and loop through back and forth. But just about 1800 hours on the 20th, yesterday, this CME exploded, and it was quite an amazing feat. Once again, this sunspot AR 2665, I think it's going to plague us again as it revolves all the way around and becomes Earth-facing once again. We're going to take another look at it on the other coronagraph. And you can see it's not as spectacular as on the C2. This is the C3. I'm just going to speed it up a little bit. And there we are on the C3. You see the CME ejecting right there. We're going to take a look at stereo real quick. You can see it from the back side. This will be opposite facing. You can see there's a small coronal mass ejection here, but then there is a very powerful, almost secondary explosion. If you watch very carefully here, you're going to see the first stream come out, and then bingo, right there you're going to see a massive pulse of energy from the sun that is directly from AR 2665, the sunspot that created such issues for us a week ago. Once again, we're going to have to keep our eyes on what is occurring because, folks, this is going to cause intense earthquake activity on our planet. There's just absolutely no doubt. We're going to take a look real quick at the SDO. Now, yesterday I was mentioning this region right here in the sun on the coronal surface. As it dissipates and starts to open up, we have extreme solar wind extruding from this coronal hole, all this entire region, all through here. Don't let it fool you, folks. Even though you see that this is partially covered, believe you me, this is flowing solar wind straight from the sun, directly Earth facing. I mean, this is going to be like this for probably, I would have to say, possibly 5 to 7 days total. We're going to take a look here at the solar wind predictor model. Now, this is what I want to show you because this is very interesting. Now, even though the plasma density is relatively low, we're going to see a small spike right here going into the 21st. and then decreasing on the 22nd. But what the issue is going to be this time is going to be the velocity, the speed of this solar wind. Now I'm just going to move down here so I can get this right in the center of your screen. I'm going to go ahead and stop this. Now this is the Earth right here. What we're looking at here is the radial velocity, kilometers per second. You can see there's going to be a slight dip on the 21st, but then halfway through the day we're going to have a steady rise, and it will be sustained, a very heavy, fast solar wind for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and possibly 6 or 7 days. Now, as we move through this, pay very close attention to this area over here, because this is where the speed is going to pick up. It's going to pick up drastically, and we are going to flow right into it. As you can see, halfway through the 23rd, we are already knee-deep in this. I'm going to move this forward, and on the 25th, it's much more intense at this point. And you can see there is a rise right there in the velocity, the speed of this solar wind coming in. And once again, we're going to move forward, forward, forward. But here's where things get very sketchy. You see this very, very dark orange reddish area here. This is very, very intense, folks. Very intense. Now, we won't get any information for probably another 12 hours on the next day, the 27th, possibly the 28th. At the end of the month, that's where things are going to get probably very extreme. You can see this velocity is going to definitely impact Earth. Now, I'm going to pull it all the way to the end. That's all I have as of right now. But you can see we're going to be right on the fringe on the 26th going into the 27th. We're going to be right on the fringe of this high-speed solar wind. This can possibly take us to a point where the solar wind is over 800, 900, or 1,000 kilometers per second, possibly even higher than that. But I'm going to definitely keep an eye on it, because this is going to be some trying times as far as the earthquake activity. We're going to move on to a couple other models, and you can see already, if you watch these pulses come in, as this model shows you, see these dark red areas. These pulses are already coming in. They're already affecting the Earth. I mean, you can clearly see that on the earthquake tracker here. Multiple earthquakes everywhere. And they're starting to get larger. Magnitude 5, 5.5 and above, a lot of high 4s. It's just a matter of time before we get hit with another big one. We're going to move down to another model here, which is going to show you the actual density as this is already coming in. And you can start to see these darker areas, these pulses that are coming in. This energy is already here, and it's already creating earthquakes. We're going to move down to one more model, and this will show you the pressure. And this is what we worry about sometimes right here, folks, is the pressure on the Earth. And you can see it's pretty intense all around out here. This is pretty close to the satellite belt around the Earth. You can see it's pretty intense on the front side of our bow shock right here. Very, very intense situation already occurring on the 21st. So this should be a pretty active day as the Earth rotates into the daylight side here in the United States. We're going to take a quick look at the magnetopause. You're going to start to see some flexing already occurring right here on the bow shock as we move through. Let's go ahead and take control of this myself, and you can see there are already some distortions. And this is 1:24:24 UTC time on the 21st, and you can see very erratic contortions of the magnetopause. Folks, this is definitely going to continue. This will probably be an all-day event for today, and then we will definitely have to worry about tomorrow and the days to come. Once again, magnetosphere, you could already start to see some erratic movement with our field lines, these thin black lines here. And these waves are already coming in. You can see them. They're represented by the dark orange. And they're already impacting as we speak. Now, we haven't seen the extreme solar wind yet. We're only up above about 750 kilometers per second. I did see an 850 in there. But again, these are pulses that are coming in. So it's going to go up and down till we are right in the mainstream of this solar wind. We'll take a look at the radiation levels coming in, and as you can see, they're already moving in, wrapping around the Earth and right within inside of the satellite belt. And once again, folks, it's not going to get any better. It's going to get worse from this point on. And the time right now is 4:20 a.m. Eastern Time on July 21st. Now, they already have this information up on spaceweather.com. They're already talking about it, geomagnetic unrest. And then they go into an article here talking about how the CME swept aside cosmic rays on July 16th. Those cosmic rays were actually pushed aside by the power of that CME that came towards us. Now, we're going to be faced with this once again. As you can see, they have a solar wind reading here of 664.8 kilometers per second. We actually clocked it at about 850 kilometers per second in the pulses that you just saw a few minutes ago. So definitely things are going to get very, very sketchy over the next several days. Once again, we have a lot of situations pertaining to our sun. Massive coronal hole here, blending in with this coronal hole here. And then a small one, which is Earth facing, right where my pointer is. More activity right here. So it's definitely going to be an interesting several days. Hopefully we don't see a magnitude 6, 7, or even an 8. But this is what I was talking about the other day, folks, whenever I said, I hope the Earth doesn't get, like a 1, 2, 3 punch, meaning multiple days of very high solar wind and all of this solar energy coming from all of the activity on the sun. Well, it looks like that situation is here. We're going to go through it. We're going to experience it. The best thing that I can say is if you do live in an earthquake zone or volcanic activity area, you're just going to have to heed caution, and you're definitely going to have to be prepared, because in situations like this, anything can happen at any time. A blink of an eye and it starts. So we're going to keep track of this all day today. Well, this is going to be another one of these grinding weeks where we're going to keep track of everything going on, because I think there's going to be a lot to report on. So please, by all means, stay tuned to the Planet X News channel and the Nibiru channel. And we're going to have a full report coming in from the doctor late this morning, approximately 10 a.m. Eastern Time. If you happen to miss the live stream, don't worry. That video processes, and it will be up on all 3 YouTube channels. This is Scott from Planet X News and the Nibiru channel. Thank you for watching.